Hey, welcome to the process. My name is Dr. John Bush. This is lesson 86. Can you imagine? Positional targets part 3, running backs. What I'm going to do is go team by team and look at what happened last year and try to estimate what will happen this year. We all try to have a crystal ball, and I'm going to look at the first 16 teams, and then part 4 will have the next 16. So you definitely want to check all that. And in fact, I'm going to go through the tight ends and the wide receivers in this whole block of material as well. So you don't worry, you're going to catch all that. And then I'm going to try to tie it together team by team at a time towards the end. So close to lesson 90s and 100, I'll be in that range. So again, this is this chapter on targets, just for us to start thinking about and getting a foundation for our research. Okay, again, none of my material is ever meant to be the end of the journey. Okay, I'm just showing you my process. I'm showing you where I start, and then I think about things. And obviously, when you have drafts, you have to move pretty quickly. And that's one of the reasons, and I think I've talked about this, I like to do slow drafts. I like to have plenty of time to marinate over things. And I see a lot of people seemingly impatient. Okay, what's the hurry? Okay, so I don't get that at all. I like things to become done in the time that it takes for them to be done. But then I talked about the personality a little bit, and shh, it's my dog's going crazy out there. Uh, so there's no hurry, okay? If you're that impatient, I think you're going to make more mistakes than taking your time. That's just my opinion. It's my process. Maybe you say, well, I always win going quick. Okay, great. Then, you probably shouldn't even be listening to me if what it takes to win. Don't listen to me. So I like to marinate and think about things. So let's continue here. Let's start. Arizona. So every one of the teams, all 32, will have a metric chart like this. Team, player. I'll have the total targets for 2020. And based on the ADP for 2021, roughly, I mean, we all know that changes. But when I did this a couple weeks ago, this was kind of where things were landing. And then the structure of the team, I put that in percentage based on the ADP. So it just gives me an idea of what the public's thinking, right? Because you're having to beat the public. And then based on the structure, we can estimate, if the 2020 is gives us the targets that we'll see in 2021, what should be the estimated targets? Just gives us things to think about, you know. That's all. Okay. Use this for what it's meant to be. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your foundation. This is reference class forecasting. Okay. This is all I can do is have a starting point. Okay. So 2020, we had Edmonds, Drake, Foster, Ward. Pretty much, I think if you add those up, that's 100 targets, give or take. Drake is gone, and I believe Foster and Ward, if they're there, they're deep on the depth charts, and the public's not paying attention to them. So I estimate, and this is in purple, 33 vacant targets. Okay, So just, just kind of keep that number back there. So who's going to get those targets? What's the distribution? So for 2021, the public's seeing Edmonds and Connor as being the 1-2, and it's really more the 1A, the 1B. At least that's how they're drafting. About 13% difference between the two. So if you use that as an estimation, and there's Benjamin, that if there's 100 targets to go around to the running backs, Edmonds should get 47, Connor 41, and Benjamin 12. So that gives you an idea, especially in PPR, and that should tell you that in PPR especially, Edmonds and especially Connor is a lot closer. Yeah, if it's standard scoring, then we're not. A lot of this is not as much of importance as in PPR. So the public's thinking Connor is the 1B, kind of, maybe a little less, but they're seeing as definitely a committee situation. So you could consider that, and I believe that's why Edmonds is going later, because of Connor, right? If Connor gets hurt between now and when you draft, then obviously that's going to leave, what, his 41 targets? Wow. That would be quite interesting. So, or if Edmonds gets injured, 47 targets. I know it may not be that way, but it's something to consider and think about. So there you go. Arizona. Atlanta. We had Gurley, Hill, Smith, 1 and 2. 2021, I figure there's 79 vacant targets. There's 105 targets available. Mike Davis is being drafted as the 1. And the 2 is Hawkins, probably, Smith or Olsen. Ollison, I guess. Ollison? So somewhere is the 2 there. I'm not sure the public's figuring this out. I don't know who the number 2 is. I think the public's thinking it's Hawkins, but it may be Edo Smith or it may be the other guy. So target-wise, Davis should get 60 targets. The other guy should split the other, 55? So there's going to be a scramble there. Obviously, if Davis goes down, very dramatic. But I'm not sure that anybody is poised to step up to be a clear 1. If Davis gets hurt, I believe it would definitely be a committee situation. Okay, so there's my view there. Baltimore, we had Dobbins, Edwards, Richard, Ingram, Hill, 20 targets, vacant because we have Dobbins, Edwards, and Hill. And the public sees Dobbins as the 1, Edwards is the clear 2, Hill is the clear 3. But notice not a lot of targets, 32, 22, and 8. So the problem with Baltimore, they do a lot of rushing, but not necessarily a lot of passing out of the backfield. So based on, 62 targets, that's pretty low. So in PPR, Dobbins is not worth as much as probably he would be on another team. Edwards looks like the clear handcuff. I'm really not focusing on those given the few targets. I'm looking for other places and people. I know people are grabbing him. He's got to do a lot of rushing to make up for lack of targets. Okay. Uh, 2020, we had Singletary, Moss, Yeldon, and Jones. Figured there's about 6 targets, 74 total. That's still not a lot, more than Baltimore, but we've seen more in the Arizona and Atlanta, so that's it's not so good. The public thinks that Moss and Singletary are 1A, 1B, and they assume the targets are going to spread. Breida's the new face. If something happens to Moss, then I think Breida comes in. I'm not sure if something happens to Moss or Singletary that anybody steps up as a clear one. I think it's going to be committee structure. So just be aware of that between now and when you draft. But right now there's going to be a lot of targets. Well, 74 is not a lot to be split. So that's why Miles Singletary, these guys are not high up in the ADP versus other running backs there. I guess Breida's a sneaky best ball. Maybe somebody gets injured over the season. You might get some value there. Carolina, of course, CMC was injured, but he did get 19 targets. Davis got the most targets, 70. But given Davis has gone to Atlanta, there's 95 targets vacant. And the public CMC gets pretty much 81 of those, the 114 targets. So that's a lot of targets. And that may be low. I may be given, is that Chuba Hubbard, 33. That may be more than he gets. Clearly, if CMC's hurt, Chuba could be step right up there and collect. I don't know who the third person down is. If you own CMC, you might want to find that out. I just haven't done that yet. I suggest you do. So CMC's number one because 81 targets is a nice selection there. Nice. Chicago, Montgomery was the hog dog. And the other ones, no consequence. So Cohen got hurt. So the public is thinking that Cohen's going to be the 2. Montgomery's the 1. Damian Williams is the 3rd. So if you look at the split, though, Montgomery gets, say, 40. Cohen gets 30. Cohen may be worth a late round grab and a late round handcuff if you do take Montgomery, in your draft. Williams may be a nice deep ball play. Almost a free square. That's probably how I would play that in best ball. Bernard is gone. Mixon, Samaji is stayed on. So the public says Mixon gets pretty much all the targets. He's going to get 81. That's what the estimate says. Something doesn't make sense to me. This is where you got to look at the numbers. He got 26 last year, and the metrics say he gets 81. Maybe we're missing something on P. Ryan. Maybe that third one is deep out there. I don't know. I'm just not 100% comfortable with Mixon getting as many targets as I think the public may be assigning him. Just not sure. I would be cautious. Mixon could be overvalued because of that, folks. Be cautious. Do your due diligence. If I grab Mixon, I would definitely grab P. Ryan or whoever, if Camp, somebody else is coming on. I think I'd look deep in the depth charts to see if I could figure out anybody. It just doesn't make sense to me. And you're saying, well, why did you do this? Got to start somewhere. I'm just not comfortable with these numbers. So I'm just telling you, that's what I see. Cleveland is Hunt and Chubb. Shh. And they figure to split the targets, 79 targets, about equal. And that's what the public thinks. Take a look at last year. It was 51-18. So Chubb may be a little bit, shh, go beat a dog here. Be good out there, dogs. I think Chubb could be a little overrated. Be careful. 42 targets? I don't think so. I think Hunt's more valuable than we think. So I'm drafting Hunt much more than Chubb, just because I'm not sure I buy these numbers either. Hey, I can't well, they're your numbers. Hey, I can help it. This is where I'm starting. Doesn't mean this is where I'm ending. But we got to have a straw person to shoot at. I just think this number 42 is high. And I think that's low. Just look at last year. Okay, it was 50-20. So I think Hunt may be a little undervalued this year. Elliott and Pollard. You got to have Pollard given the injury risk to Elliott. People are a little concerned about it. The data says it should be 67-46. To me, that makes sense. Take a look. This is what it was last year. This seems reasonable to me. So Elliott's probably a good play, especially if Dak is back. Dak is back, that rhymes. Definitely you want Pollard if you grab Elliott. Okay. I would. Best ball for sure, but in redraft, I would definitely want to have both. Denver, we had Gordon. Lindsey's gone. Uh, so there's 15 targets vacant. So now the young one, Javonte Williams, the public says it's equal. Gordon got 44 targets, so now he's going to surrender 10 or 15 to the new kid. I don't know. If Gordon got 44, say 45, and this guy got, say, 20, 25, Gordon would be a good price, and this guy's overbet. That's what I'm thinking. I'm drafting Gordon more than this guy, but we'll find out. People are really banking on the Javonte taking over. I'm just not seeing it this year. Maybe next year, Dynasty folks. That's what the estimate's saying based on the ADPs. I'm not buying this. I think Gordon gets more play, and he's a little bit of a bargain. Detroit, Swift, Johnson's gone. Both Johnsons are gone. Is Peterson still there? I don't know. Williams, is he still there? They definitely got Jamal Williams from Green Bay. The public says it's 1 and 2. Okay. 66. That seems reasonable. And Jamal collects 47. Both of those numbers seem closer to reality, and I think either one is a bargain if they can collect 126 targets there in Detroit. I think it'd be they'll have fun, and we'll have some great time seeing them run. Be nice to see some action in Detroit from the running backs. They have a hard time getting going over the years. But I'm satisfied, I think, with estimated targets here. Green Bay, uh, Aaron Jones there lost Jamal Williams. He's gone. So 50 targets. Right now, the public says Jones gets 63. It's what he got last year. But they're saying that Dillon picks up 41 of those. So it's definitely a 1 and a 2. Dillon gets that many? Keelan Hill might be a surprise there. He may be a good third. In best ball, I'm taking him as a free square in a few leagues just to make sure. I'm not buying the targets there of Dillon. That seems a little high to me personally. So I would be a little cautious there. Houston, Duke is gone, and Lindsey comes over and joins in, and they're the public saying it's maybe 1 and 2. Was it 20%? Maybe 1A, 1B. Curious to see how. And they got Ingram as well. And given all the controversy with quarterback, I just don't know what we're going to get. And Burkhead, oh my goodness, I forgot he's there. So the targets are really split because of that. Look at that. Johnson got 46, and now he's only going to get 32. I think David Johnson's a little undervalued. I believe he's going to surprise people. I think Lindsey's going to get a lot too. I think Ingram is the one who loses out. I think Burkhead may be the red zone guy. And so I'm not sure I'm buying all that. Okay. I think Johnson's a uh, good price. Okay. Taylor is the clear one. Nakeem Hines is the pass catcher. Hines got 76. So now they're saying the public that Hines goes down to 42. I'm not buying that. I think Taylor gets loses the estimated 56. I think closer to 40 to 45, maybe 50. I think Hines is the play here. The question mark is Mac. Can he come back from is it Achilles injury? That's tough to come back from, but they give him 27. So I'm thinking Hines is the play. I mean, Taylor, if he slips far enough with all the quarterback controversy, that may be, you may get a bargain or two. Jacksonville. So they say that Travis beats Robinson, and they're equal in targets with Carlos Hyde getting 25. Wow. Robinson got 60 last year. He's going to only get 40 this year. I'm thinking Robinson is undervalued. I know everybody. This guy's the number one. It's very interesting. This is going to be a really interesting. I think if he is number one, it will take a little bit of time for him to pass Robinson. I think it's going to be a true committee situation here, folks. And Chris Thompson's still there who can catch. I think this is going to be a muddled backfield. I would take Robinson, but try to get him at a bargain. I'm not taking Travis at his price. I'll wait. Hyde may be the free square there. Consider that. Kansas City, 103 targets total. Darrell Williams is the number 2. McKinnon's the number 3. It actually looks to me like it's going to be a 1, a 2A, and a 2B. And McKinnon's the free square, might be worth your pickup. Don't forget about him, folks, especially in best ball. He's could be a free square for you in best ball. I just don't know if CEH is going to do as much as he did last year. It's 54 last year, 51 this year. Don't know. Don't know. I'm a little hesitant here. I think Kansas City wants to pass and pass and pass. They want their RBs to keep the defense occupied, but passing is going to be their game. But McKinnon again could be a free square in best ball. Could be very interesting. But I think it's a 1, a 2A, and a 2B kind of. Could be McKinnon's the 2A and Williams is the 2B. Not sure. Williams could be the 3 and McKinnon could come up to the 2. This is fluid. I'm not drafting these two at their price. I'll take McKinnon late in a best ball. Okay, I will look at the other 16 in next lesson. Please come back. We're having lots of fun. This is Dr. Bush for the process.